Howdy. Today we're looking at the Rumblejack. I've been wanting to do a video on this for a while. I just never got around to getting the Melee Arcane adapter unlocked, but I did now. This is the weapon you get from the New War quest. One of the weapons you get from the New War quest, because you actually get this as well as the Nadrock. It's a little pointy dagger that has electric damage. This is what it looks like normally, very interesting. Now, the stats aren't really great looking at first. It has 0.667 attack speed, very pathetic, 14% crit chance, and a 1.8 multiplier. That's just a yikes. But it is a dagger, so it has 90% follow through, and it has 40% status chance, with 180 electricity and 120 impact. So it's got very good total damage at base, and base electric with good electric weighting, which is exactly what we want. It also doesn't say it here, but according to the wiki, it gives you 10% bonus movement speed when you are wielding the weapon. So that's a big whoa. Now, as it's a high status weapon, you know what? You're going to want to build stats. Who would have thought? This is not going to be a very long video, to be totally honest, because I'm not going to show a lot of different builds, because honestly, I only think the only thing I think is worth building on this weapon is pure electric. Because if you go gas or corrosive or viral or anything like that, you're going to cap out on your stats procs way too quick, and that's just a waste. You just want as many stats procs as you can get. So we just go full on electric. Now, it would be better if I had Tennokai unlocked here, but I don't, because free heavy attacks do big damage, but it is not the end of the world. It probably, maybe, sort of, I don't know, does some sort of fanciness on the heavy attack. I just know heavy attacks do good damage, especially when you have melee influence on. Now, we do have crit damage built, because we're going to want to do crits, but that's kind of hard to do normally, so we go all in on the damage. We have condition overload, so we get more damage for more statuses. However, we have no statuses other than electric, really, right now. So in this case, we are going to go prime pressure point, but normally if you're priming like your companion or teammates, condition overload is definitely going to be the better option. But right now I'm going to put on prime pressure point. Shocking touch and voltaic strike for bigger electric DOTs, and more electric weighting to make sure we get just electric procs for the most part. Weeping Wounds for massive amounts of status chance. Melee Elementals for a 90% multiplicative damage increase to the electric DOT. Primed Reach for +3 range to make full use of that juicy follow through. And Quickening for attack speed and combo count chance. Now we don't have such horrible attack speed. Someone I've had maybe 2-3 times people point out that I don't ever mention. I need to start mentioning, but I don't use Bane mods, because Bane mods double dip on DOTs and they triple dip on influence. I do not like Bane mods. I do not use Bane mods, and from what I can tell, the vast majority of the Warframe player base also do not like and or use Bane mods. And if you wanted to get all of the Bane mods, you would need 4 for your melee, 4 for your secondary, 4 for your primary, and 4 for your shotgun, all primed if you wanted to, get the highest amount of damage. That's 16 primed mods to get and max out. And then you have to interchange them every time you fight a different faction. What if you're doing a mission with more than one faction? What if you're fighting like Thrax? Thrax don't have a special Bane to them. Murmur don't even have a primed Bane for them. I just don't think Bane mods are worth using when you can do enough damage in the game as is to kill anything. So why would I bother having to switch out a mod every time I fight a new faction and want to off myself in GTA when I can do plenty of damage as is? I just rather pretend they don't exist, so that's what I do. But if you want, you can run a Bane mod, since it will do massive damage because of melee influence. But we're not doing that here. Amalgam Organ Shatter? We can't really make use of crits for the most part here. Blood Rush, I guess, sort of, with Amalgam Organ Shatter, but we'd have to give up Melee Elementalist or Quickening. We don't really want to give up anything here. So I suppose the next best option, if we aren't going to go any amounts of crits, we spring-loaded blade for more range to make use of that follow-through even more. Nothing on my Warframe is affecting our damage because I won't be casting abilities. I just want to show the weapon at base first. And then I'm going to show with Volt because I think Volt is where it really shines when you use it on him. There are combos built up. For having nothing but pure electric DOT and no viral procs or armor strip, we have literally no armor strip. Right? These guys have 90% damage reduction, no armor strip, no viral procs. I'd say this is pretty good. Look at that. Some pretty big electric procs if you ask me. But we can make that extra snazzy. So let's go back into here. Let's say we do have crit damage over spring-loaded blade. Now we get all of that extra crit damage, but we need to be able to crit. Well, what about Kullervo's helmet ability? Now we have guaranteed orange crits because we're at, or base, yeah, because it does have some crit chance at base. We have guaranteed orange crits because we have just about 200% strength. Here's the Volt build. Then what if we add in just a little bit of armor strip? Curse of Projection is enough to nearly triple our damage if we have no other armor strip sources. Then we add in attack speed from speed. Then we add in shock. Trooper. For even bigger electric DOT because we have more electric elemental damage for more damage on the DOT procs. And all of a sudden we've got some really big PP damage. So, simulate, cast this, and this, and this. And we go over here, and now watch them all die. They're dead. Here, now let's do that again. How many hits? 1. One singular hit is all it took to kill all of them. We still only have one status. We could add in Condition Overload and Priming and Viral and bigger armor strip, higher strength for bigger buffs. But we don't need all of that. Not when we can already completely decimate them as is. Here, even without... Oh, Shock Trooper's still active, so I can't just take that off stat base. The amount of damage this thing does is ridiculous. It just pairs perfectly with Volt, too, because Volt give, you know, Shock Trooper, you do that, add in Helmet, Kullervo, Shabam, crit chances fixed, and, you know, speed, so that you don't have to deal with the horrible base attack speed on the melee weapon. Very funny weapon, very effective weapon. I highly recommend building it and giving it a shot. That's it. If you liked the video, leave a like, subscribe. Adios.